Two and a half thousand years ago, a Greek philosopher Heraclitus said that the only constant in life is change. And you might wonder, why is he quoting a Greek classic standing in Łódź? Well, because in my mind, Łódź is the embodiment of change. When I first arrived to the city 30 years ago to study, this Fabryczna railway station was a small building. And right now, it is a huge and modern hub that in the future is supposed to connect different parts of Poland and Europe. In the 20th century, Łódź was famous for its film industry. Polański, Wajda, Kieślowski, they all studied here. And I believe that each of them at least once visited this place. Nowadays, Łódź is still evolving. And right now, it is time to take you on a trip around this city. The history of Holy Łódź is in fact the history of the post-war Łódź, because it was then when the feature film studio, also known as the Factory of Dreams, was created. There the majority of post-war Polish films were shot. And let's not forget about the famous Łódź Film School, an elite school which educated generations of outstanding directors and actors. And it was also established at that time. Today, I decided to take you to the National Center for Film Culture to talk more about Łódź being the promised land for filmmakers. The history of Polish film is basically over 12 decades, because everything started with Kazimierz Pruszyński and his film The Return of the Merry Fellow. But why did Łódź appear suddenly on the map of Polish film?
Cinema may have begun with the Lumiere brothers, or perhaps with Kazimierz Pruszyński. Some argue that if Pruszyński had a bit more luck and a bit more money, we wouldn't be talking about cinematography today, but about playography. Because playograph, which we have a replica of at our exhibition, actually predated the Lumiere brothers' invention.
Rzeczywiście trochę wyprzedziła braci Lumière. A jeżeli chodzi o początki Łodzi,
when it comes to the cinematic beginnings of Łódź, the Łódź Film School is undoubtedly the city's greatest pride. The institution has definitely helped establish Łódź as the city of film. The school is one pillar of this legacy, while the other is Łódź's animation scene, particularly the legendary Semaphore studio. Beyond the iconic Teddy drop ear, which everyone knows, Semaphore was also where Roman Polanski made one of his first live-action films, namely Two Men and a Wardrobe. It's interesting that he did it in a studio primarily known for animation.
Is Łódź still active in the film industry?
I've been thinking about how to compare the legacy of the great names we've mentioned so far. Wajda, Skolimowski, Polanski, Zanussi, to what's happening in Łódź today. And honestly, it's not bad at all. Locals often half-jokingly complain that certain streets or locations are closed off for film shoots.
Chcieliby przejść, jest tym razem niedostępny na spacer ze względu na to, że kręcony jest tam jakiś film.
Recently, The Girl with a Needle was filmed here, as well as Chopin, a film I believe will make a huge impact next year. The truth is, new films are being made in Łódź all the time.
The most beautiful thing about history is the ability to time travel without even moving. Are you ready? Let's begin. If I went back in time to 1842, there would be a single-story timber building here. In 1867, a textile factory. And 20 years later, an incredible project of a very talented architect, Hilary Majewski, was brought here to life. This building, for almost 14 decades, has been one of the most beautiful landmarks in Łódź. Welcome to the Grand Hotel Łódź, an establishment which has always been considered to be the place to stay and the place to visit. And although I don't like to gossip, this would be the perfect spot to do so. Because if these walls could talk, they would tell you so many stories connected with the film industry directly or not. So many important films were shot here. Wabank, Hotel Pacific, in Poland known as Zaklęte Rewiry, or the Cold War. But if I were to be tabloid curious, I would tell you that Roman Polański met his future wife Barbara Kwiatkowska here. When he saw her for the first time, she was standing at the reception and he fell in love with her completely. So, are you ready for our stay? How does it feel to work in a hotel which is so deeply rooted in the mentality of the people from Łódź?
Oh, it feels great. We have lots of people coming in just to see, out of curiosity, to how it looks, how it works right now, what we offer. Working here has been amazing. Since I started, I'm just in love with the atmosphere here, and it's just beautiful. It's great to come to work every day, so I enjoy it very much.
Is it difficult to keep up with the legacy, like 14 decades almost?
Yes, it is challenging, but also it's an honor, really. We aim to keep the elegance of the past and mix it with modern standards. So today the Grand Hotel is like an icon, to be honest, of Łódź.
By now you should know that I absolutely love hotels with history, with all the nooks and crannies guiding me through the legacy of each place. Here, my attention is immediately drawn to the exposed original architectural details. For example, restored stuccos, uncovered brick walls, or the original stairs incorporated into a modern staircase. Everything that allows me to time travel from the 21st century into the 19th century. And I have to admit that I'm in absolute awe of the hotel trying to pay homage to the industrial history of Łódź. How often do you have guests who remember the hotel before the reopening?
Oh, very often, actually. People come here to see how it looks after the renovations. They want to experience the sentiment, the nostalgia. Some of them had weddings here. It's often a very sentimental journey for them, and they like to remember that. And they often tell us stories about it, which is really nice to hear.
Although it may look, and for me it most definitely feels like I'm giving Urbi et Orbi, which is an official blessing to the world, I'm actually from this balcony looking at the most beautiful restaurant in Łódź. Malinowa, or the Raspberry restaurant in Grand Hotel Łódź. Malinowa restaurant has always been a place associated with luxury. These beautiful interiors witnessed so many lavish New Year's Eves, dancing parties, and formal dinners. And the list of guests is absolutely overwhelming. Sienkiewicz, Modrzejewska, Kiepura, Brzechwa, Makuszyński. And although over the years its appearance has changed, for the visitors it will always remain an example of perfection and elegance. So many things happened here, like so many films were recorded here. Do you think that there is still future when it comes to filming industry for the Grand Hotel?
Definitely. We are asked a lot about photographing our spaces, but also the unique design of the hotel attracts both filmmakers, guests. There was Cold War recorded here. It was nominated for Oscar, actually, yes. And our theater hall was representing a club L'Eclipse.
History of Grand Hotel and culture intertwine on so many levels. For example, in 1905, then the owner of the Grand Hotel decided to open a cinema here. After the Second World War, Serena Theatre was established in these walls. Nowadays, the theatre hall is still actively participating in many cultural events. Sometimes as a host, for example concert or performances, and sometimes as a guest. It starred in Cold War, a film which received 3 nominations for Oscars. When I first entered the spa area, I was absolutely gobsmacked because the use of a basement was absolutely flawless. I don't know if you have the same feeling about it.
Well, I feel like it's the best place to relax, really. Guests often say that it's like the best in Europe when they travel a lot and they visit a lot of spas. It's quite a lot, actually, because it's 800 square meters, all of it.
Is it this big?
It is, actually. It doesn't feel like it, because it's closed off. To feel some intimacy, you can just feel some privacy there.
2 things I appreciate the most while visiting hotels are consistency of experience and visual coherency. And here, hats off. Take this spa area, for example. 2 flights of stairs down from the reception and you enter an extraordinary world. A world which is placed in an old historical basement. And yet, it is incredibly otherworldly and simply gorgeous. What is your wish for the city to become in the future?
Oh, I think my wish is to keep the history thing going. So like this hotel, the history was kept and it was renovated. I wish all of the buildings that are important for our history would be taken care of.
At the moment of the original opening, the hotel had only 45 rooms. And right now, there are 122 of them, and the number is supposed to grow. But for me, the number of rooms is not as important as the list of guests who stayed here. Beata Tyszkiewicz, Jerzy Sztur, Marek Konrad. These are the names who opened the pantheon of Polish cinema stars who graced this place with their presence. Justyno, you are a great fan of Łódź and a guide around here, so you must be aware that Grand Hotel influenced the film industry and the film industry influenced Grand Hotel.
Yes, yes, it's true. This is also the reason because it used to be one of the most favorite places for the people who create movies here.
I think that every single piece of land in Łódź is associated with Polish film industry, because I believe in the first post-war film, Forbidden Songs, Łódź played Warsaw.
Yes, yes, it's true. Łódź wasn't destroyed after the Second World War. This was the place ready to make the movies here. In my opinion, Łódź is a great city for making movies because you can see here a lot of the different places, not only Łódź. This is the most important because we place Paris, we were the New York, we were the Copenhagen or Warsaw. Very often we place Warsaw in the different movies. So this is the place where you can easily change to something different, and it's always great or very ugly, or very beautiful. So Łódź is, I think, one of the most favorite places for the movie makers.
Having the Grand Hotel as a perfect starting point, could you please explore area around it just to show me the beauty of Łódź sets?
With pleasure.
We are approximately 150 meters from the Grand Hotel in Łódź, and we are entering right now a stage for so many various film productions.
Yes, but
For
this
example,
is the promised land. I like this movie very much.
74,
You know,
Andrzej
exactly.
Wajda.
Andrzej Wajda, one of the first absolvents of our film school. On this street, Moniuszki was played one of the, I think, one of the most amazing moments in the movie. It was the funeral of the Buchholz, the richest factory owner who died, and a lot of the people just goes with him on the cemetery.
I think that it's absolutely mind-blowing because it's not a very long street, and if you move forward, you enter another film.
It's true.
You want to show it to me?
Of course.
I have to admit that walking along Moniuszki streets is like walking through centuries, different sets and architectural styles.
And now we are in front of one of the most beautiful examples. I know it needs some money and renovation,
Modernism.
but modernism, amazing architecture.
Where did it start?
Powidoki, the movie about Strzemiński, important artist connected with Łódź. And this is also important because this was the last movie of Andrzej Wajda, and he created here in the City of Movies.
Few steps further and we are entering another set. Tadeusz Dołęga-Mostowicz, 1980, and a TV series based on a book which was called...
The career of the Nikodem Dyzma.
Yes. So which part of this street was a part of this film?
This building, exactly. It was the Gain Bank when he was going out together with his assistants, and Jerzy Bończak plays him.
Oh, you have no idea how grateful I am for this walk. 300 meters,
Yes.
and a body of work of Andrzej Wajda, and so many different productions. During the period of moderate prosperity, which was the end of the 20th century, Łódź was called the capital of Polish fashion. The first salon of Telimena was opened here, and we have to remember that Telimena was the first Polish fashion house. Right now, walking around Łódź, after all these decades, I can see that it has remained its industrial character, giving second life to old factory buildings. But let's check out if there is still fashion present here. Standing next to this clothes hanger, so colorful, I look like a grave digger. I mean, very elegant, but still grave digger. Where did the idea of creating such clothes come from?
We actually started out restoring furniture. There were always some leftover materials.
At first we made backpacks, blankets, curtains. Then we thought, why not incorporate them into jackets or coats? We can also find something colourful for you, though we also have a few black patchwork pieces.
But guys, guide me through the way, because your ideas start in Łódź, Poland, and then they end up in the United States. How did it happen?
2 years ago, we flew to New York, bought the cheapest hangers we could find, and just set up shop on the street. We went with 5 suitcases full of clothes. It was about an adventure, not necessarily about making money. We already had customers here, but we wanted to see what would happen. In the beginning, we were literally selling coats off our own backs. I remember going for a walk on Thanksgiving wearing my favourite coat. It had a huge pink panther on the back. I kept saying, "This one isn't for sale. It's mine, mine, mine." But people kept stopping me, saying, "Wow, amazing coat." And one thing led to another. Since people were so open, conversations just started flowing. Some people asked if they could buy the coat. At first I refused, but then I thought, why not test it? And I made what I thought was a ridiculous price, and the next day I sold it for cash. That's how we sold 2 more pieces. And when selling on the streets, we met stylists and other industry representatives who pointed us in the right direction. Now we have our own locations there.
Comparing those 2 countries and those 2 mindsets, what do you miss in Poland? What should fashion look like here?
I think we definitely need a bit more color. Just look outside, it's all grey and gloomy. And we're only making it worse. Making it worse.
The weather outside is frightful. Well, my look is not frightful. It may be boring, but it's not frightful. For some people, Łódź can be an acquired taste, but for me, it is a ready film set, because I really love this city. My name is Damian Rubańczyk, and I have a few words of advice for all of you who don't appreciate the ever-changing charm of this city. And these are the words of Maya Angelou, who wrote, "If you don't like something, then change it. If you cannot change it, then change your attitude." See you next time.